Will, as you prepare for your 16th season, what are the emotions as you get it's here?
It's almost like I'm losing sleep. Like toddler on Christmas, you can't wait to get there and open the gifts, which is the games. So, I mean, I think I tossed and turned all night just because anticipation's building up.
And Kendall, I mean, opening day is always exciting, but for you, is there an added excitement given that you everything you went through end of last year, recovering from the surgery, everything like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was the first injury, of that or that big or whatever that I've had in my career. So, yeah, there's a lot of time off, time out that I've, haven't been through before. So definitely not taking anything for granted. Really look forward to get back out there.
Do you guys have any conversations with each other about coming back and or maybe what were the conversations if not before announcing you were coming back after and realizing you're going to get to play with each other for one more season?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely like in the summer just kept in touch. I'd checking in on him with his injury, seeing how it was going, and he just talked to me about what my future plans were. And I think at one point when I knew I was coming back, I didn't know if he was coming back, and then I was like, "Hey, if you come back, I'm trying to find a place to stay." So we almost lived together, but
Yeah.
we didn't decide at the same time. But yeah, we kept in touch.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. Stay in touch with dang near everyone in the building, especially if we're not, in town over the summer, that type of deal. But yeah, briefly kind of told each other where we were at, and after we decided we were coming back, we were really excited to get another year together.
Kendall, I think want you to answer a question about Will right here. It seems like he's had a really good spring. What have you seen? Maybe some adjustments from him, and what's been working for him when you're in the box or when you're in the dugout watching him pitch so far this spring?
Yeah, so usually when I face Will, we got like what? Usually it's like a 15 pitch at bat.
and 4 years of facing.
Yeah, so I faced him once this pre-spring. It was a 2 pitch AB, and I grounded it out, so it was a lot quicker than normal. But no, the cutter looks better than it ever has. Fastball too. I feel like. I mean, I don't think I saw one, but from what I've heard from the other guys, fastball was playing really well off that cutter as well. So velo's ticked up a little bit. He looks best I've seen him. So I'm really excited.
Will the dedication to throwing the fastball a little bit more, did that happen in the fall, post fall? I mean, when did that kind of come up where you wanted to add maybe a little extra emphasis on that pitch to go along with the cutter?
It started as soon as the season ended last year, or even in the season last year. I realized that hitters didn't respect the fastball at all, so they'd lean out over the plate trying to get the break and stuff. So I got to make them respect it to be successful with the break and stuff.
A lot of new faces within the pitching staff. And, obviously Hagen's gone. What have you seen kind of from inside that room in terms of, guys, the gelling and the confidence? And I mean, Dave and Coach Hobbs have kind of talked about how tight this group is. I mean, as kind of the older guy that's been here, how does this year's pitching staff maybe differentiate from staffs of the past?
I mean, top to bottom, talent wise, this might be the best of the best I've played with. And then for like chemistry, I bought a mini basketball hoop for the locker room, and day goes by, guys are shooting on it, and I come in the next day, there's another one on the other side of the locker room playing full court. So
They got
I
a
mean,
court taped up.
yeah. So I mean, it just shows that the guys love being around each other and that we're all getting close.
Kendall, being healthy like 100% is one thing, but how close are you to being back to where you were pre-injury?
Very close. I feel like that's kind of just been coming with at bats, the live at bats in the pre-spring, that type of deal. But yeah, I feel like now, I mean, I got 2 weeks of live ABs and then scrimmages, so good amount of at bats under my belt, and I feel better than ever. So really just trying to get back to the that comfort level in the box and just seeing as many live pitches as I can. But as far as getting back to myself, I feel great.
Will, I know you've had a really good spring, but is there any of the newcomers or anybody hitter wise that's been really tough to get out? Like who's maybe stood out to you?
Zane Becker stood out to me, freshman catcher. He's been swinging it really well, and same for Kozil. They've both been swinging it really well the last couple of weeks, and it's gonna be excited to watch them.
Kind of flip side of that, who on the pitching staff has been particularly tough to hit against, or maybe stood out to you?
Yeah, Colin Fisher's always a guy that I struggle in the box against. Like just feeling it, he does such a good job of locating and using a pitch off it and all that kind of stuff. Root was another really good lefty. I've only got to face him once as well. I feel like you can go up and down the list, but those are two guys I'd say those are some tough at bats for sure.
Are you guys getting any Australian and Canadian culture in your lives with Iredale and Daveland? I mean, how's it like having the international guys on the team right now?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It really is. Charles is great. Charles is great. He speaks French fluently too, so that's pretty cool. He'll drop a little French in there every once in a while. Some guys are asking him, and then yeah, Brent's great. He's super laid back, keeps his head down, works his tail off. So really excited.
Does he ever like? Is there ever like a cuss in French, or like, is there any moment where he just like he kind of reverts back to that as the natural language?
That's what I've heard that. I know some guys. You might have to ask Rocco Pepe about that. He's got some good phrases in French, remember? But I couldn't do it. It was too much going on for me. But
How excited are you to face a different pitching staff? I mean, you kind of talked about just how good these guys are. I mean, what's the grind like in the spring when it's all you're seeing, and now the anticipation for going against some different arms?
yeah, definitely very, very excited. I mean, they faced them all fall too. The rest of these guys, I was banged up, so obviously I didn't get to see them this fall. So I can't imagine how they're feeling about it. But no, it's really good. At the same time, like you said, it gets a little repetitive. But I mean, we're facing the best arms in the country too. So we know we're only getting better, and we're trying to make them better at the same time. So but yeah, we're definitely ready to strap it up against a different team.
Kim, you mentioned Rocco Pepe there for a second. You and him both have gotten some work at first base during the preseason. How has that gone? How comfortable are you? And what have you been impressed about Rocco? I guess he's going to be starting the season out there. Just what have you made of him playing there defensively?
Yeah, so I think that was maybe in my meeting with Coach before I head back Christmas break, and he had mentioned maybe trying Rocco over at first, that type of deal. When we got back, had some more conversations about it, but it's been cool. I came in here as a third baseman, and then that kind of turned into the corner infield, and it was outfield. So getting back in the dirt it's been fun. Same thing with Rocco. I mean, he hasn't played infield, I don't think he said for a little bit now, so it's cool, and kind of helping each other out. But I think we both now over there, very comfortable and ready to go wherever we're at.
Well, y'all got a couple of really good freshmen that seem like they're going to have big roles in Cole Gibbler and Carson Wiggins. What have you made of them, mental makeup, and then also just their talent?
I mean, I think they're both very mature for their age. From what I've seen, Cole Gibbler is one of the hardest working guys on the team. I only have one class this semester, and he beats me to the field a lot. So I think that shows how hard he works. And then Carson is just very talented and gifted, and he uses it really well.
Are there any similarities, like just in terms of personality or arm or whatever, between Carson and Jackson?
They're the same person.
Everything.
So I walked in this winter, and I was trying to throw with Gackle before we all left for Christmas break, and him and his brother are there together, and it's like it's the exact same. It's just copy and pasted the same person.
It's wild.
Personality wise too, like it's no, not.
I'd say Carson's a little more outgoing. Yeah, Carson's a little more talkative.
I mean, when Carson first walked in, it was during All-Star break for professional guys. So I was like, "What's up, Jackson?" I thought he was back in town training, and it was Carson.
It's happened multiple times.